Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Talking Manor. And I got a cat hair right there. Excuse that. But I know my channel really hasn't been about talking about subjects. So, well, at least lately, it's been more gaming. But this is kind of on the subject of gaming. Well, it has a lot to do with gaming, and that is what type of PC are you gaming off of? Now, for me, I went with the pre-built, and the only reason why is because when this whole pandemic started, computers and computer parts were selling like crazy. So it was hard to even find this one, believe it or not, because a lot of places were like sold out. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to buy a pre-built, even though it's not the pre-built that I was going to get originally. But it's the components inside this one are just a tad better than the one I would have had, but the only drawback is the case for this one isn't as good as the one which would have been. I know iBuyPower has some good cases and some pretty decent computers, so I would have been even happier with the iBuyPower, I believe. Don't get me wrong, this is a great computer for anybody that is starting out. For gaming, I've been using pretty much anything I can get my hands on for gaming in the past few years, even if it was not as good or set up for gaming. But let's get down to the point. So today I will be showing you the Omen Obelisk. It was the 2019 model. I got it from Best Buy, and yeah, that was either that or something that was like not even considered a gaming computer. And that's pretty much all they had left, was like two computers when this whole thing started. So today I'm going to be telling you the pros and the cons on having the HP Omen Obelisk. I haven't got a chance to even check out their new one, because when I was going to look up what parts are compatible with other cases, especially the motherboard, it's ATX supported. Excuse me. ATX supported motherboard. So that's a good sign. I can go ahead and put it in a new case without even having to worry about it. But let's get down into it. The pros and the cons about this case. So here I have the side panel already off. As you can see, it is a glass panel, and it's transparent, of course. A lot of PCs and stuff like that are going transparent on the sides, which I really like, because I like seeing the components and everything that's inside them, and the light and all that. Even though I'm not too big of a fan on like super RGB, like just going absolutely nuts, this is perfect for me because it's not over the top. So let me move this side panel. As you can see, there's ventilation on the sides, but that ventilation doesn't really have ventilation, because as you can see right here, that's where the ventilation vents meet. And yeah, I don't really get that. We have two hard drive bays, 1 and 2, which is kind of nice. We have a GeForce GTX 1060i, or Ti, sorry, I believe. We got a 500-watt power supply. We have a Intel i7 processor, the 9th generation. We have 2 RAM slots, which it already came with a 16 gigabyte stick of RAM, which is really nice. Like I was saying, the motherboard is a good motherboard for your entries. It is ATX, like I said, I believe. You got your Wi-Fi card down here, and that's like pretty much it as far as it goes. Oh yes, and you also have this GPU bracket, so that if you want to have a bigger GPU, you can, and it won't sag, and that's a plus. You have your standard fan that goes over your CPU. It's all right, but as far as I know and what I've experienced, is this CPU gets really, really hot very fast. and I don't like that because I don't want to have to spend money to get a new CPU, and I don't really want to go with water cooling because it's all right. I'd rather go with air cooling. One, it's more effective, and two, it's just less expensive. And you got your 120 millimeter fan back here. If for an exhaust, there's usually a bracket that goes right up here, and that is for, you know, attaching a water cooler radiator to. But like I said, I took that out just so I can get a little bit more airflow. And yeah, but that's the issue. The GPU doesn't get as hot. GPU stays at pretty good temps. It's the CPU that really bugs me, and the whole problem with the, like, one of the biggest problems about this case is there's hardly any airflow. Like, you have a dust filter down here, but as you can see, it doesn't really make any sense because there's no feet and there's no like fan brackets, or not fan brackets, but fan mounting points. So you just have this, and you pretty much have to drill holes in your case and add feet, which is kind of a downer. You know, I was wishing that I could put more fans in here so I have more airflow, and it gets really hot in here. Now, for the other side of the case, it's not that user friendly when it comes to actually having to change out the CPU or the cooler, because you have to pull everything out, including the motherboard, just to change out the CPU or the cooler. I don't like that because the other side of this case, I don't believe comes off. Like, there's no brackets or anything, so there's not like a cutout for where the CPU goes, and that's really annoying. But overall, great graphics card. Haven't had any issues out of the power supply. I haven't had any issues out of the RAM, which is the HyperX DDR4, I believe 3400. I can't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments for all you computer builders out there. But yeah, it's a good entry computer and definitely has the right components. Just the implementation and the whole idea of it was just done wrong. Like, this would have worked perfectly. I wouldn't even have to get a new cooler or anything like that if it was in a better ventilated case. So that is my review on the HP Omen Obelisk 2019 model. It's, like I said, it's a great computer, perfect for entry level, as long as you have, you know, the right temperature or climate room, or if even you want to do water cooling. I highly recommend, if you get this computer, down the road you would want a better case, and you would want, you know, a better CPU cooler than what's on here, because a lot of the people are saying, well, it's good enough to do what you want to do in gaming and stuff. But I figured, I do recording and gaming at the same time, so it gets really hot even when I'm editing videos. I have to turn off some of the cores, because if not, it gets overheated and my program crashes, and a lot of people are having that issue. So with that being said, if you are able to build your own computer, I would recommend building your own computer. But if you are in the same situation that I was, once again, this is a great computer, but I just wish the implementation was a little bit better. Well, that was my review on the HP Omen Obelisk. I hope you guys had learned something from this and this was informational. If you have something that I might have left out on this review, please let me know. I know I'm leaving out the ports and all that stuff, but I just want to talk about the main components in the computer and what is probably going to catch your eye first when owning this after a while. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and peace out.